Hey guys, Dwayne Bryant here from WagerTalk.com with another edition of my MLB Trend Report. This one for Wednesday, June 21st. And I've got 6 trends for you today. And we are going to get right into it. And I'm going to start with a trend on Martin Perez. We're going to go season greater than or equal to 2022. Our starter equals Martin Perez. We are going to look at him on the road. And we are going to look at him on the road against opponents whose team averages less than or equal to 3 walks per game. So, not the opposing pitcher, but the opposing team's batters average less than or equal to 3 walks per game. So, Martin Perez, since last season on the road against teams at the plate that average less than or equal to 3 walks per game. You can see Perez and the Rangers are a perfect 8-0 in this spot, despite just an average line of minus 104 for a very nice 96.7% ROI. And you can see that is active today. Perez and the Rangers on the road in Chicago against the White Sox. Let's do another pitcher-specific one. And this time, we're going to look at the young career of one Tyler Wells. We are going to look at Tyler Wells just in the month of June in his career. And you can see another 8-0 Tyler Wells and the Orioles when he starts in the month of June, despite an average line again of very similar to the Martin Perez trend, an average line of minus 103.6. Won these games despite near an even money line, won these games by over 4 runs per game. Nice 97% ROI. Active again today, the Orioles on the road in Tampa Bay against the Rays. And I say this all the time that in a long MLB season, these teams and these players and these starting pitchers, they go through peaks and valleys. And a lot of these pitchers, if you go, like I go to fangraphs.com and I use their splits tool, and you can do a split of the individual seasons or their career. And in Wells' young career, the month of June has been his best statistical month. So it makes sense that the Orioles are 8-0 in his June start. So this is no fluke, even though they are averaging 6.5 runs per game in his June starts. You can see here the opponents are only scoring 2.38 runs per game. So he is doing his part as well. Before I get into the next couple of trends, I do ask that if you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button, hit the thumbs up, also hit the bell for notifications so you don't miss out on any of my videos or live streams on this channel. If you have any trends or angles that you have found that are active today, please drop them in the comments. I'd love to see them. And as always, I should have said this at the top of the show, but you should never base any bet on any single trend, angle, or piece of information. You should always have multiple edges in a game before you place a wager. So please do not, nothing bothers me more than when I put these trends out there and I inevitably have somebody say, I'm going to ride this trend today. Don't do that. Unless you have handicapped the game and you also have other edges in that game, and this trend just backs what you've already found, don't just make the bet just based on any one trend you see on social media, in any of my videos, or anywhere else. So with that said, let's move into the next trend. We're going to look at a team trend here. We're going to go back to last season. So since season equals greater than or equal to 2022, we're going to look at the Royals. We're going to look at the Royals when their previous opponent's runs equal 0. So in other words, the Royals off a game where they shut out their previous opponent. They did shut out the Tigers yesterday, so this will apply for today. And you can see since last season, the Royals are 0-12 after shutting out their previous opponent. They've lost these games by an average of 4.5 runs per game. Fade them in this spot, and you have a 62.7% ROI. And you can see it is active today. Royals on the road again in Detroit against the Tigers this afternoon after shutting out the Tigers yesterday. And we're going to stick in that game, and we're going to look at one of the starters. We're going to go season greater than equal to 2021. So we're going to go back a couple of seasons here. Our starter is going to be Matthew Boyd. We're going to look at Matthew Boyd at home and in day games. So since 2021, so basically almost 2.5 seasons, Matthew Boyd at home in day games. And actually, we're going to look at him in day games at home where the total is greater than 7.5. And again, when I say day games in the SDQL database, day games refers to any game that has a start time prior to 6 p.m. Eastern. So we will hit the SDQL button. And you can see over under 0-7. So no overs, 7 unders. These home day games for Matthew Boyd with a total of more than 7.5. These games have gone under by 3.5 runs per game. You see the Tigers themselves have only scored 1.3 runs per game. They've given up about 3.9 runs per game. So only a little over 5 runs per game being scored in these games. So a strong lean to the under 8.5 in the Royals-Tigers game this afternoon. Before I get to the final two trends and the big one that I have saved with the big ROI for the end, I do ask that if you are interested, you head over to my page at dbbets.com. I do have my Hump Day MLB best bet loaded for today. No fancy trends or angles to promote for this play. This is just a play that's backed by some very strong statistical data. It's all included in the write-up. You can get that play right now. Also, I talked to the Detroit office yesterday, worked out a special deal. You can get all of my plays in all the sports I cover for the rest of 2023 for only about $3 a day. I was number 1 in college football last season at WagerTalk across the board in win percentage, bankroll increase, and ROI. I'm number 1 the last 2 seasons combined in profit from 5% NFL max bets, and currently having a profitable MLB season as well. I would also include any NBA and college hoops plays through the end of this calendar year. This is a limited time deal. Get it all for just $5.99 right now at dbbets.com. So let's go back to the SDQL database and nail these last 2 trends for today. We're going to go pitcher specific on this one. We are going to go back to just last season. So the season greater than or equal to 2022. And the starter that we're looking at is Paul Blackburn. And we are going to look at Paul Blackburn when the line is between, he's an underdog between plus 125 and plus 175 on the road. So since last season, Paul Blackburn as a road underdog between plus 125 and plus 175. Hit the SDQL button. And you can see that Paul Blackburn is 0-9 over under. So no overs, 9 unders. And again, I love the margin here. These games have gone under by an average of 3.3 runs per game. You can see the average score down here. The team scored 2.33 runs, also allowed 2.33 runs. So 4 2/3 runs per game total being scored in these games since last season, when Paul Blackburn is a road dog in this price range. And it is active today as Blackburn and the A's are on the road in Cleveland against the Guardians. Now for the grand finale. This is the one you've all been waiting for, the one with the ROI of the day. We are going to look at Trevor Williams, and we're going to look at him, and this isn't season specific. We're going to look at his career. So no date parameter, no season parameter, just starter equals Trevor Williams. We are going to look at him as a non-division underdog when the team lost his previous start, and that previous start was against a division opponent. And also in that previous start, Williams struck out no more than 5 hitters. So Trevor Williams in his career as a non-division underdog, when he's coming off a start against a division opponent that the team lost, and he struck out no more than 5 batters in that start. We're going to hit the SDQL button. And you can see that despite being an average plus 123 underdog, Williams and his teams, and I say teams because this covers Pirates, Cubs, and Nationals in his career, he's a perfect 7-0 straight up. And even though he was a dog, they won these games by an average of 3.43 runs per game. So the margin is great. And even better than that, the ROI is 123.3% on these games. You can see it's already been active twice this season. Nationals were home dogs against the Cubs, beat them 4-1. Then later on in the month of May last month, they were home dogs against the Padres, beat them 5-3. And now it is active again today as Trevor Williams and the Nationals host the Cardinals as underdogs once again. So guys, that will do it for the MLB trend report for today. Again, if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button, hit the thumbs up, and also hit the bell for notifications so you don't miss out on any plays. And please, if you have any trends or angles that are active in today's games, please do me a favor and drop them in the comments below. I would love to see them. And as always, best of luck on all of your plays today.